I am a wolf. This is a story between me and a little girl. That night, the dusk was like a piece of ink-soaked burlap, covering the snow-capped mountains. I curled up at the entrance of the cave, looking at the flickering candlelight in the distance, which was the direction of the cabin in the woods. Since that snowy night, the kerosene lamp has become the warmest promise between Anna and me. 3 months ago, on the winter solstice, when the iron-toothed trap bit through my left front paw, I smelled the rust of death. The blizzard howled in the valley, tearing my sobs into pieces. Until the 12-year-old Anna stumbled into the snow with a kerosene lamp in her hand. The ice crystals hanging from the edge of her woolen hat reflected rainbows in the firelight. That was the color closest to heaven I had ever seen. She knelt in front of me, and the white mist she exhaled was wrapped in the smell of peppermint ointment. This blonde and blue-eyed human girl could actually understand the fear behind my bared teeth. She took out a deerskin glove from her canvas bag, but her fingertips trembled violently when she touched my wound, not because of fear, but because of the shock of seeing the old crescent-shaped scar on my abdomen. It's exactly the same as the wolf in my mother's photo album, she whispered, pulling off the silver cross necklace from her neck and stuffing it between my teeth. Hold it. Don't let the wound freeze. When the trap clicked and released, the crisp sound of a shotgun being loaded came from afar. Anna suddenly pounced on me, her plaid skirt brushing across my bleeding fur. It's a deer. I saw a deer, she shouted into the darkness, and the snowflakes falling from her hair melted on the tip of my nose, bringing with them the sweetness of strawberry jam. That was the gentlest lie in the human world. Every full moon night, Anna would carry a pine medicine box through the pine forest. She always said that moonlight would double the efficacy of herbal medicine, but on a rainstorm night, 3 crescent-shaped scars on her left arm were exposed. 3 years ago, I encountered a wolf while camping. She wiped the gunshot wound on my hind leg with an alcohol cotton pad, and her eyelashes cast a trembling shadow on her eyelids. But it didn't bite me, just pushed my matchbox with the tip of its nose. I licked the marigold ointment she applied, and suddenly noticed that in addition to the dried meat, the tin box she brought also contained half a yellowed photo. A young woman holding a wolf cub standing under a pine tree, and the woman wore a silver cross on her left wrist that was identical to Anna's. That's my mother. Her fingertips touched the cracks in the photo. She always said there was a guardian spirit in the forest until she disappeared in the blizzard. On a thunderous night, there was a loud sound of broken glass from the direction of the wooden house. I ran wildly in the rain and saw the ruby hairpin that Anna threw out when she was dragged onto the carriage. It was the only gift for her 16th birthday. They found wolf tracks. The adoptive father pointed his shotgun at the forest. I'll send you to boarding school next week. The moment the carriage ran over the puddles, Anna suddenly pulled open the curtains and threw a burning kerosene lamp at me. The flame drew an orange-red track in the rain, illuminating her lips. Follow the light. In the late autumn mist, I followed the smell of gasoline to the abandoned mine. Anna was curled up beside the railroad tracks, with blood-soaked cloth wrapped around her ankles and half-eaten rat jerky scattered around her. The water dripping from the top of the cave froze into ice on her eyelashes, but she suddenly smiled when she saw me. I knew you would follow the smell of the cross. She took out the compass she had secretly brought from the carriage, but the needle spun wildly as she approached me. My mother wrote in her diary that wolves can sense the magnetic field of the earth veins. Before she finished speaking, the barking of hounds came from outside the cave. Anna grabbed the kerosene lamp and ran away. The wet rock wall suddenly cracked with a spider web-like golden light. That was the star road that my mother would only appear before she died, and only those recognized by the wolf pack could see it. We ran in the collapsed tunnel, and the rubble that kept falling above our heads brushed my back. Anna suddenly tripped over the railroad tracks, and the kerosene lamp rolled into the dark river, and the cave instantly fell into a pitch-black darkness. I heard the sound of her groping for a match, but my pupils shrank the moment she struck it. The stone wall was covered with claw marks, and each mark was embedded with dried human nails. Is this a wolf trap? Anna's voice was trembling. I pushed the back of her hand away with the tip of my nose, letting her touch the crescent scar on my abdomen. It was the wound left by my mother protecting human hunters. I heard my adoptive father's roar from outside the cave. Anna, come out. Your mother died in the hands of these beasts. A warning growl rolled out of my throat, but I saw Anna suddenly raise the burning match and walk towards the crevice in the cave wall with a wolf head totem engraved on it. The moment she pressed the silver cross into the groove, the entire wall flipped over, revealing an oak box hidden deep inside. It was filled with yellow diaries and dozens of silver crosses that were identical to the one around her neck. When the spring snow mixed with blood froze at the entrance of the cave, I finally understood the secret of Anna's mother. Those humans who are protected by wolves will receive wolf kisses on the night of their coming-of-age ceremony, using wolf saliva to activate the ancient memories in their genes. The wolf-shaped birthmark that has just emerged below Anna's collarbone is exactly the same as the pattern on my mother's fur. They are coming. Anna stuffed the last piece of compressed biscuits into my mouth and stroked the new gunshot wound behind my ear with her fingertips. There was a roar of engines at the foot of the mountain. 27 hunters were fanning around with tranquilizer guns. The foster father in the lead was wearing my mother's wolf tooth necklace. It was put on by him 10 years ago to repay the favor. When the first anesthetic needle brushed the tip of my nose, Anna suddenly ripped open the collar of her shirt, revealing the birthmark that glowed silver in the moonlight. All the hounds fell silent at the same time, and the adoptive father's shotgun fell to the ground with a clang. Impossible. Your mother said that the child had died. She hid me in the wolf pack because I am a human-wolf hybrid. Anna picked up the broken kerosene lamp, and the lamp oil dripped through her fingers onto the snow. Just like you were raised by the wolf tribe, father. She kicked the trap clamp at her feet, revealing the dense human skeletons underneath. All hunters who intended to harm the wolf tribe. The adoptive father's pupils shrank suddenly. You already knew? Those missing people. It's an illusion maze created by their magnetic field. Anna stepped on a wolf-eye-shaped kerosene lamp, and half a human skull rolled out of the glass shards. But they never take the initiative to kill people, unless someone threatens the light they want to protect. She looked at me, and the same blue flame in her eyes ignited as in her mother's diary. Now, it's time to show you the Real Snow Night Lampkeeper. When the first rays of morning light pierced through the clouds, the hunters carried the unconscious foster father back down the mountain. The forget-me-nots Anna had planted outside the cave sprouted new buds, and each petal was stained with the blood of last night's battle. I licked the burn on her palm and listened to her humming the lullaby her mother taught her in wolf language. It was an ancient language she learned from the diary in the mine. When the wound heals, we will go to the beach. She transformed the broken kerosene lamp into a wind chime, and the sound of the silver cross was mixed with the sound of the glass pieces colliding. Mom said that the ancestors of the wolf tribe came from Atlantis, and the sea water can activate our true power. When she turned her head, a piece of ice crystal fell from her golden hair, reflecting a rainbow in the sunlight. Exactly the same as when we first met. The whimpering of the wolf cubs came from the pine forest in the distance. I pricked up my ears to identify the direction, but Anna suddenly pressed my shoulder. She took out a piece of dark chocolate from her pocket and broke it in half. Don't worry, today is the Easter of humans. There will be many celebrations at the foot of the mountain. As she bit the chocolate, the silver blue lines unique to the wolf tribe flashed across her tongue. Maybe we can pick up a roast turkey. The mountain wind swept the dandelions past the cave entrance, and I looked at the cross Anna put on her neck again. It was made of my fallen wolf teeth and her red hair. The wind chimes of the kerosene lamp swayed gently in the wind, and each piece of broken glass reflected her profile, like countless small moons. And the light that we protect each other will eventually turn into the brightest stars in the eternal night. At the entrance of this quiet cave, we seemed to have temporarily bid farewell to those thrills and crises. Anna hummed a lullaby while gently stroking my hair, her eyes full of longing and expectation. I imagine what the seaside looks like, with a vast blue sea, golden sand, and warm sunshine on my body, she said, her face full of yearning for future life. I could feel her joy, as if she had seen us playing at the beach. She would run on the beach, and I would chase the waves, occasionally picking up a shell and giving it to her. When night fell, we would lie on the beach, looking at the starry sky and listening to the whispers of the waves. In the distance, the whimpering of the wolf cub came again. This time it seemed more urgent. Anna put down the chocolate in her hand, stood up, and a glimmer of determination flashed in her eyes. Let's go. Maybe they need our help. I followed her and ran towards the pine forest. We shuttled through the dense pine forest, and the fresh scent of trees hit our faces. Soon, we found the wolf cub that made the sound. Its hind legs were caught in a trap, and it was struggling in pain. Anna immediately squatted down and carefully opened the trap, whispering to the wolf cub, "Don't be afraid, little guy. We will help you." I watched the surroundings vigilantly to prevent other dangers. After treating the wolf cub's wound, Anna held it in her arms and said gently, "Be careful next time." The wolf cub licked her hand, as if to express gratitude. At this time, the sun shone through the gaps in the leaves, forming golden spots that fell on us, as if adding a sacred glow to our friendship. We took the wolf cub back to the cave entrance, and this little life would join us and embark on an unknown and hopeful journey together.